There are majorly two types of tourists. Those who arrive at a place with a list of things to see and activities to do, and they go about following that list with military precision. And there are those who go with the wind, almost like surfing on the waves of the travel, exerting the bare minimum effort into planning. Which one are you? A devotee of the list or a surfer of the travel? And more importantly, which one am I? Stay tuned and you will find out. My name is Sunny and I wanted to create a podcast that would be like a campfire where you tell stories, share life experiences, sing songs, tell jokes, and come home with great vibes. That's why I created Campfire Corner. Welcome to Campfire Corner with Sunny. Hello again, my name is Sunny and this is Campfire Corner with Sunny. This is a series of our North Macedonia adventure and we have come to the last episode of it. Oh, I know you're going to miss it. In the previous episode, I was telling you about our last day in North Macedonia. We started that day in Ohrid and we were planning to go from Ohrid to Skopje but via Matka Canyon. So like I mentioned in the cold open that you always have somebody who likes to plan and likes to plan the living hell out of a vacation, and there are people who cannot even plan enough to catch a train or a flight, and sometimes they miss it. In this trip, I think we were switching roles. In Skopje, I was the list guy. I was looking at things that I wanted to do. I had some ideas before we got there as well that I wanted to see those things like Project 2014. I was really keen on looking at those buildings. And when we got to Ohrid, it was Surbi who was doing that planning and researching. She found that church of St. John the Theologian, and then she looked at which beaches were nice and all of that. And I was just following along. On the last day, I think it was minimal planning, but we had done all of us wanted to go to Matka Canyon because that is like the number one recommendation on all the web pages, vlogs, everywhere, that if you go to North Macedonia, if you go to Skopje, you have to go to Matka Canyon. So that was all on all the lists. But other than that, Surabhi had done some research into there are these caves which are really nice, which are really old. So she was very keen on those as well. In the previous episode, I got to the point where the car had arrived and then my friends came down after finishing their breakfast. Finally. Yeah. So we started from there and now I will move to the on location update to give you the story after that. Let me go on record to say that traveling long distances as a passenger in a car is not my favorite mode of transport. Driving a car sometimes, being a passenger, especially hours and hours, is not great. We stopped at one place for a bathroom break. Didn't have to ask the driver because he needed to go, so he stopped. And other than that, we are now at Matka Canyon and we started about 9:40, so now it's about 12:44 and we've been here a couple of minutes, so about 3 hours drive from Ohrid to Matka Canyon. My impressions of the canyon, well, it's a canyon. There are lots of mountains on one side and then there's lots of green water below. It's not very clean water, but we have not been on the boat tour yet because we wanted to find another bathroom first, which they have, not very clean. And this is the first time in my life that I have seen Indian style toilets outside of India. Yeah. But it was, the less said the better. I don't want to let's not go into graphic details. Other than that, it's like, it's got commercial stuff set up. There are boat tours, there are water bikes kind of thing where you can pedal, and there are kayaks, there are speedboats, all kinds of things. And the one that we are planning to take is going to be a boat which takes about 30-40 people, I think, maybe 20. I'll have to check again. I don't see one of them here. But yeah, and Surabhi was very keen on going to the underwater cave because that's the biggest underwater cave in the world. But unfortunately, can't do that today because the weather is a little bit cloudy. Although the sun is coming out now, so things might change. I don't know. But it's a 2-hour tour because you have to go to the place where the caves start, and then you have to hike up the mountain to find the entrance of the cave, because I don't know how that works. This is supposed to be an underwater cave, so it might be so big that it starts on the top of the mountain and goes even all the way in and under the water. I have no idea. I'm not very interested in going into any caves anyway. But we will at least take a short half an hour tour with boat, and then let's see if my impressions change. Otherwise, yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. But the more you hype something up, the more you build the expectations. Lake Ohrid was really good, especially when you had sunset views. But otherwise, okay, let's reserve judgment until we have been on that boat tour. And after that, we'll have a coffee break because there are restaurants and corn on the cob or stuff like that around here. Cool. Stay tuned.
Inside by boat you have 20 minutes to go, 20 inside, 20 back. It's tax, it's 1 hour, price is 500 dinars, it's per person, or euro, 8.5 euro per person.
Okay. How we will go, like the normal boats?
For this boat.
This boat?
Yes. Now
Okay.
you buy ticket, after you can wait to collect more people. Minimum for the start boat it's 8 people or 10 people.
Okay.
Yes. Maybe have people for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, after we will start to go to the cave.
And after 15-20 minutes no one comes then?
Not yeah, you can go only you.
Yeah?
Yes.
There will be some guide.
We have been to the Matka Canyon, and as I said, it was all right, but not all that it was cranked up to be, in my opinion. But I did not take the tour to the caves because it was a longer tour, but Surbi did. So I'm going to ask Surbi, what did you think about the cave? Was it worth the extra time and money?
Hi Sunny. So I think, yeah, I definitely like the cave. It was like gorgeous. So it was like from the starting point, we took the boat ride, 20 minutes ride to the cave, and 20 to 30 minutes we spent there.
Once you had the 20-minute boat ride, then how much walking or hiking did you have to do to get to the actual cave?
So it was like approximately 10 to 15 minutes hiking to reach to the Vrelo cave. And inside the cave, obviously the weather inside the cave was 15 degrees, and the normal outside temperature was 30 around.
Yes, yeah.
So it's much cooler inside, and like for the tourists they put the lightnings and all inside,
Lightings, yeah.
so that it is much visible.
Yeah.
And Vrelo cave is considered to be like the oldest and one of the deepest underwater cave in Europe, and I think in the world as well. But so many things need to be explored there.
What's the underwater part about? Is there water inside the cave?
So yeah, like there is a water. There is.
There is water.
Yeah, there is water inside the cave.
Oh, right.
But where there's a water, like there's a barrier. We
Okay.
can't go there. We can see it from a distance. It's like I think 25-meter deep. 20,
Okay.
Yeah, feet
That's
deep.
pretty deep.
Yeah, yeah.
So, is the cave above the ground level, above the water level, or is it below? You have to climb down?
We climbed up.
You climb
So
up.
yeah, exactly. So,
Interesting.
but
Okay.
but it is supposed to be underwater,
Yeah.
and there's a water.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So we don't know the technical side of it. That's
Yeah,
fine.
no, I don't know
Yeah, we
the
can only tell
technical
you
side.
there was water. It's supposed to be an underwater cave. There is water. That's it. And there were lots of colors that I saw in the pictures that you showed me on your
yes,
phone.
yes. I think this is because of the tourist attraction,
Yeah.
and so that we can have the tourists can see
No, but
proper lightnings
Oh,
and
so
all.
those are color lights.
Just the color lights.
So it's not something like
No,
flowers or anything
no,
that's
no,
growing?
nothing is there.
That's a cheating. That's a scam.
But it looked beautiful.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
and even the pictures were amazing. So
Yeah.
if you want to like take pictures,
Yeah.
post it on Instagram, so it
Yeah.
is really good, and it is
Okay.
like worth seeing. One of
Yeah.
the must-do thing in Macedonia.
So what I will do is I will borrow a couple of pictures that Surbi has taken on her phone and then post them in the Campfire Corner podcast Instagram. Will that be okay?
Definitely, yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Surbi. This is a good time for a commercial break. Malta was never the destination. The destination was not even important. The purpose of the journey was to find an escape in the post-COVID world and breathe in the air, out in the open, look at the open spaces and talk to people you would never meet in the normal course of your life. And then I fell in love with Malta. My book, The Malta Moment, is available on Amazon Kindle and Smashwords. Links are in the show notes. Check it out. Welcome back from the commercial break. One thing that we have seen here quite a lot is that there are lots of stray animals, mostly dogs and cats. And then some of my friends, Surabhi, doesn't like that very much because it kind of freaks her out. What do you want to say about that, Surabhi, about having so many stray cats in Macedonia?
I think the overall experience of mine in Macedonia was amazing, but at the same time, it can be the worst because there were like so many cats all around, everywhere you go. We went to near the beach, there were cats.
Yeah.
We went to the restaurants, there were like multiple cats.
Yeah.
We went to the cave, there was a cat, and like I can't imagine.
In the cave also? There was-
Like not inside the cave,
Oh.
but like near the like where we were
Where we
near the
ate.
boat. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
right. Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think what happens is that there are these stray cats. They are hungry, and then people feed them tidbits from their table. This is why they're wandering around.
maybe like they don't do anything.
Yeah.
They just like walk around or
Yeah.
pass by you. I think they want some food, but I was very afraid. They are scared of from us, but
Oh, I don't think they were scared of us. No, no, no. They were wandering around all around our legs, all around the chairs, all the time.
I think they are so used to the tourists and so
Yeah.
many surrounded by people.
Yeah.
They want to be near people,
Yeah.
but I don't want to be near them.
And this is a quote of mine, okay? So you know what's the most scary thing in the world?
What?
Is hunger.
Yeah, you can say that.
When a person is afraid of hunger or afraid of going hungry for themselves or for their family, they will take any risk. Legal, illegal doesn't matter to them. Their life doesn't matter to them. They will do anything. And these cats, because they're hungry, so they kind of get around, they get used to the tourists because they are feeding them.
Hungry of love or food?
I think food in
both.
this case, or maybe both. Maybe both. Yeah. There's a cat in my street. I don't know who that belongs to. One of my neighbors for
Yeah.
sure. But she just walks around, comes around, and then she's such an attention seeker.
Yeah.
One time she laid down in the path of my door, because she like pet me, talk to me, and I'm not a cat person. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not a cat person, so I don't know how to deal with them. I don't know how to
Yeah.
pet them because you can't pet or talk to a cat just like you would do to a dog.
Yeah, exactly. I can't say much about that because I'm not
Yeah.
an animal person. I know most of the people will hate me for that. But I had the similar experience in UK itself, in Oxford. There's a cat near my flat,
Okay.
and even it seeks for attention. So I think
Yeah.
even cats need so much of attention.
Yeah.
I think more than dogs need.
Yeah.
So-
It's not that you hate animals, it's that some of them make you uneasy, some of them you're afraid
yeah,
of.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can say that.
Yeah.
I think it will be much better way to put.
Yeah, it kind of it matters because I have told my podcast audience that I'm afraid of so many different things. I'm a complete coward when it comes to water, when it comes to heights. So,
Yeah,
but
definitely you are because
Yeah.
you didn't go with us. We tried to convince you so many times for the cave, but you didn't come with us.
the cave, to be honest with you, I thought it might be a little bit boring.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise I didn't want to spend another hour on the boat, and I am kind of justified in my own mind about it
Yeah.
because when I went on that half an hour boat tour by myself, that was okay, but it did not make me feel like, oh wow, I'm here in Matka. It did not make me feel that excited. but it's gonna sound like a very asshole thing to say, but I've seen better boat tours. Like when I was in Belgium, they have they have the canals,
Okay.
and the tours of the canals were more fascinating
Okay.
because by the canals there are some churches, there are some old buildings,
Okay.
and the guide gives you a lot of information about each place we are passing. Whereas here, this young lad, he was just he's just driving the boat, and that was about it. And his
Okay.
both sides is just mountains and then water and then
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
for me, there was nothing like, okay, I spent 200 dinars for this, but 200 was okay. You spent what, 500?
500 dinar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our tour guide was not like telling us all about the history or something, but if you are
Yeah.
asking question, he will answer pretty much everything.
Okay.
And it's like my experience, like Matka Canyon is more of a pictures queue.
Yeah.
If you want to like take more good pictures and everything.
It was nice, yeah.
Definitely, I had much better
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, all
But if you are in Macedonia, it is like a must thing to
Something you
visit.
should do, yeah, something
exactly.
you should do. It's about 18 kilometers outside of Skopje,
Yes.
and there are lots of buses, taxis, and tours that go there.
Yeah, I think it is like easily accessible.
Yeah.
And
Everybody says
Then,
that. One thing I would say to everybody who wants to go to Macedonia and Matka Canyon is that if you're going, go in the evening. If you can go by like sunset time, be better. The only problem is, will you be able to go there or not? Because when we were coming from Skopje and we tried to get to Matka
Yeah.
Canyon, there was a traffic jam. Remember that?
yeah, exactly. We had to cancel the whole
Yeah.
trip of Matka Canyon.
Yeah.
So we went after 2 days
So, yeah.
and left early morning.
This is why we covered it coming back from Ohrid and then coming towards Skopje. And this time we left about 9:30 in the morning, and this time it was okay, no traffic jam. But I think at sunset it would have a much better, much more fascinating kind of colors and pictures.
Yeah, but they all like all the boat rides gets closed by during the sunset time. So I don't think so. One can spend like so much time during sunset.
Yeah, that's a shame.
One thing that I want to add here is that I was a bit wrong about the Matka Canyon. Although at that time I was not bowled over by its beauty, I was not overwhelmed by how gorgeous it was. When I came back and I looked at the photos that I had taken from there, they were pretty nice. But there are not a lot of angles, there are not a lot of great things that you can do, but there are a few angles that you can use, and those photos, it looks better in photos than real life, if that makes sense. But there is just a vibe, there's just a feeling, like, it's a big Matka Canyon, you're taking a boat tour, all that. But if you want to look at just like a picture postcard side of it, then you have to just take the pictures, trust it, and then come back and then look at those photos. You will see that if you show it to people, they will appreciate it much more, even if you are not completely bowled over by its beauty. So that's something that I saw afterwards. And I always say that there are 3 parts of a trip. 30% of the enjoyment you get from the trip when you're planning it, and then another 30% you get when you come back and look at the photos and talk about the stories with your friends who did not go, or you talk about the things about the trip with the friends who did go with you. So all of that is like 60% of the enjoyment is before and after the trip itself. And so if you do go to North Macedonia, you should go to Matka Canyon, but just you have to trust it for a bit and then just take lots of pictures, because I've shown the pictures to some of my friends and they really liked it. They were really like, wow, that looks gorgeous. So there's a dam there, and there are some mountains, and there are some trees and the water. It looks pretty in pictures.
I have one sidebar to add about the cat fear, that there was another person in the restaurant near the Matka Canyon where we were having our lunch. There was another girl who was also afraid of cats. So she swapped seats with her boyfriend. And then her boyfriend was telling us, I think they were from Turkey, but he was telling us that they also have stray cats in Turkey.
Yeah. So, that guy was telling us that I think that guy was from Turkey as well.
Okay.
And also recently my brother also traveled to Turkey. So immediately after the visit of Matka Canyon, I called my brother and asked that because I'm planning to go to Turkey from a long time.
Yeah, me
But I
too.
didn't know about this, that we will find so many cats
Yeah.
there. And I called my brother and he said like, yeah, you will definitely find cats everywhere you go.
All right.
So
Yeah.
I'm not sure still that
Yeah.
I will be going to Turkey now or not. But
Yeah, I want to go to Turkey as well because I've heard so many nice things about it.
exactly.
But yeah, I'm not afraid of cats that way. So I don't go near them because I've had experiences. But I don't run away from them. Same thing with dogs as well.
That's
I've been bitten by a dog before when I was very
Really?
young. Yeah.
how?
Um, it, I went to somebody's place to give them some money back, and their dog was a little bit wild, so he snapped onto my hand, and I had to have some
See, that's
injections.
why I don't like because they are like very unreliable. I don't know what
They
will happen.
can be, they
Even
can
if
be,
I'm
yeah.
getting scared and if they see the fear inside me,
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is one thing that I try to do, and I think you will bear witness to that. That if somebody is afraid of something, I try not to laugh at that. I have never laughed at you for being afraid of cats because
Yeah.
it's a genuine thing. What
Yeah.
somebody is afraid of is they can't help it.
Yeah, that is a good thing. But yeah, most of the people will find me like stupid or crazy. That because I've seen so many people like cats, dogs,
Yeah.
but no, I'm not.
Yeah. It is a little bit different. People have different kind of feelings about it because these are all stray cats, stray animals. So some people are a bit, they're saddened by it that they want to rescue them, take them home, and then some people are afraid of them. Some are uneasy about them. It's like, yeah, it's different things. But yes, it's not absolutely not a really good situation, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, because one side you are eating and
Yeah.
one side like cat is staring at you.
Yeah.
And
Little bit, yeah, little bit uneasy. Okay. And yesterday we went to that beach which was close to the old town, Pat Posh, right?
I think it's called potfish. Definitely, it's called potfish.
Okay, Pot Pash, yeah. So we did the research on that, not me. And that was a nice beach, right?
Yeah, it's definitely good. Like relax, sit there, enjoy your drink.
Yeah.
And we went during the sunset time, so the beach was looking amazing.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And also, plus it is near to Old Market in Orit.
Yeah.
So you can cover like three things.
Three things in
there.
one go, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 5 minutes walk, I think it was a
Yeah.
very easy walk.
Yeah.
And then from there we went to the church of Saint John the Theologian.
Yeah. So from Potpesh Beach, we had to hike, I think, 10 minutes.
I think, yeah, maximum 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Yeah.
Maximum 10 minutes. And it is like the church, like the structure of the architecture is like so good. It is like, it
Yeah.
was built in like 13th century.
Okay.
Not completed though, and it is like considered to be like one of the most orthodox Christian church.
Yeah.
So
What I liked about it is that it's not like a box structure like most of the churches
Yeah.
are. It's a
Yeah.
different levels and
Yeah.
different texture on the outside walls as well.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And plus we visited during the sunset time,
Yeah.
right at the sunset time.
Yeah.
So it was looking amazing,
Yeah.
so good. So
While these girls were taking lots of selfies with the church, I actually went up a ramp. There's a sloping road. I went slightly up on that, and then from there you get a better angle with the church and the sun in the same place. And also when there are sunset colors in the sky, like the fire in the clouds, and then you can see that in the background of the church. It was amazingly gorgeous.
exactly, the sky all like fire up, and down like you will see water blue color,
Yeah.
and plus the structure of the church.
Exactly, yes, I forgot to say that. Because it's built on a kind of like a hill.
Yeah, it's on the cliff.
And there's water and there's sky, you have everything in one go. So
Yeah.
it's really, really good for photos.
Yeah, it's amazing.
If you come to, I would say if you come to Ohrid, if you come to Macedonia, you have to come to Ohrid for sure.
Yeah.
And if you come to Ohrid and you want to have some nice pictures for your Instagram, I think definitely go to the St. John the Theologian Church and take some
Yeah.
nice pictures of the sunset.
yeah, definitely for pictures and definitely for the history.
Yeah.
And it has like amazing history behind it.
Yeah.
So
Nice. I'll add some history behind it in my studio commentary.
yeah.
As promised, here is some history of the St. John Church. It's called St. John at Kanyo in there because it's overlooking the Kanyo beach, Kaneo. That's the Kanyo is the area there. And this is dedicated to John of Patmos. He is the writer of Revelation, and he has been considered by some people to be the same person as John the Apostle. The construction date of the church is unknown, but there are some documents that talk about the church property, and they suggest that it was built before the year 1447. And archaeologists believe that the church was constructed sometime before the rise of the Ottoman Empire, very likely in the 13th century. Restoration work was done on this in the 1964. During the Ottoman Empire, it was abandoned. So this was again discovered and restored in the 20th century, and then during the restoration work, it was discovered and there were these beautiful frescoes in its dome. The church has a cruciform architectural plan with a rectangular base. The architect of the church is not known, and the restoration work was carried out on the church in the 14th century, shortly before the arrival of the Ottoman Turks in Macedonia. A wooden iconostasis was constructed within the church, and by the 20th century, numerous saints, along with the Virgin Mary, have been portrayed on the apse. A fresco of Christ Pantocrator can be seen on the dome of the church. Other than all these interesting facts which I got from Wikipedia, this is a beautiful church. I think it is possibly the most beautiful church that I have seen. Not that I am a connoisseur of the church buildings, but most of them are like box structures. But this one it's very pretty. And because it's situated on a cliff overlooking the Lake Ohrid, it's really nice for sunset photos, and even the daytime, if it's not too bright, it looks great. So I've seen lots of pictures of this taken by other people as well, and the pictures that I took of it, I'm very proud of them. They have come out so beautiful. I will obviously post some of them in the Instagram feed, which is Campfire Corner Podcast. So don't miss them. Make sure that you follow that account so that you can keep looking at all these videos and pictures that I take on my trips. I think we should close here. We have gone over the 20 minutes limit today, but I wanted to conclude this episode today. From there, we made our way in the same taxi from Matka Canyon all the way to Skopje Airport. We had to take some cash out, which had its own hassle because I did not want to pay any extra fees. So I finally found the same Hulk bank and took out some money. And we had a couple of hours of wait. One thing that pissed me off at this place in Skopje was that they did not give me what's the airline called, Wizz Air. They did not give me my boarding pass when I checked in from the app. They said I have to go to the counter and get my documents checked. I have a British passport. By now you should know that I have a British passport. I'm very proud of it. And I was coming back to London, and my passport number and all the details are in the system, in Wizz Air system, when I checked in. So why the hell do they need to check my documents? I was really, really pissed off with that. But I try not to be that tourist which screams at counter people, so I was not. But I had to stand in the queue for about half an hour for that thing along with my friends, and I wanted to ask that girl as to why why do I have to get these documents checked when I have a British passport? I'm going back to Britain. But she was very much overworked. And it was like she looked at the passports, all three of us, gave us the boarding pass, and then she immediately turned to carry on the next bit of business. She did not even give us another half second of her time. So it was like, yeah, they call it economy cattle class. This was like a cattle treatment. I am trying not to take any more Wizz Air flights anymore after this. So my next trip is going to be with a different airline. Other than that, nothing else happened. It was an uneventful flight. The landing was a little bit rough. The approach was a little bit rough, which I hate, as you know. And it was not such a bad weather as well. But another reason not to take any Wizz Air flights. It happens with every flight, to be honest. So it can happen with any airline. So you can't actually predict that. But because I'm pissed off, I'm going to avoid Wizz Air for a while. That's it. That's the episode for today. We are finished with the North Macedonia one, and the next episode is going to be a little bit special because it's going to be a video episode. We will see how that works with Spotify. If you listen to it on other services, do you get to hear only the audio, or does it not work on those services? So we will check. That's going to be a test case next time, but hopefully it will work, and hopefully you will enjoy the visual part of that as well. It's going to be about Guy Fawkes Night in Oxford. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will say bye bye for now. See you next week. Bye.